Now, as you're beginning to break out of your comfort zone, the second step you want to take is to look at where, right now, you're spending most of your time. Where do you spend most of your time? With your kids? No. At work, at your jobs, right? So the second step in changing how you spend your 28,000 days is to avoid career burnout. You know what I'm talking about. That feeling in the pit of your stomach when you wake up in the morning because the alarm goes off and you go, oh, I gotta go to work today. Or the Sunday night blues. As the sun sets on Sunday night, you begin to feel blue because in the morning it starts all over again and there's no holiday on Friday. It's a full 5 days. Right. So there's only two things you can do when you're facing career burnout. You either recommit to your job or you make a change. Those are the options. Let me tell you the story of Will. Will was an IT programmer, very good at his job, but he was burnt out. He was bored. And so each day he would go home and complain to his family. Because that's what we do, right? We bring our unhappiness home to the people we love, and we share it with them as a gift that keeps on giving, right? So Will said to his wife, honey, I hate this. This is just boring, and I don't like it. And she said, why don't you do something about it? And he said, they won't let me. They, meaning management, won't let me do anything. Nobody cares. It's blah, 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 blah. And she said, enough. Do something about it or stop complaining. What would you like to do? And he said, well, I think I'm a really good programmer. I would love to be able to present on what I'm studying and what I'm learning and what I'm doing to the whole department. And I would love to get in front of clients. And I would really love to go to conferences and present papers on behalf of the company. And she said, oh, that sounds great. Why don't you do that? And he said, well, they won't let me, I think. And she said, why don't you ask your manager about it? Why don't you have a conversation? And after a few days of thinking about it and complaining some more, he went into his manager and he said, I'd love to increase some of my responsibilities. I want to present internally. I want to meet the clients. I want to represent us out there in the marketplace. And his manager said, sounds great, but I don't think your skills are good enough. You're a great programmer, but when I've seen you present, you're not so organized. It's not focused. It's not concise. I don't feel comfortable with you representing us yet. But if you get better, I'll give it a try. That's when they called me, and I worked with Will, and he was motivated on his own to improve his skills, to be more focused, to be more clear, to have a clear message, to not go over his time limit. All the things we talk about in good presentation skills. Anybody who was in my session yesterday, bold presentation skills, all those things, Will was eager to learn because it had meaning for him. About 6 months later, he went into his manager and he said, I think I'm ready. The manager said, okay, talk at the department meeting in 2 weeks. And he did a good job. Then the manager said, all right, 6 weeks, I'm taking you to the client site, be ready. And he was ready, and he did a good job. Then the manager said, next year, the big conference in our area, I want you to present a paper and represent us. And he did a good job. And suddenly, Will was happy in his job, and his boss was happy, and the company was happy, and guess what? His wife was happy, because he wasn't coming home complaining anymore. So he chose to recommit to his job rather than just complaining about it. If you're not able to recommit to your job, or you're not willing, or circumstances don't allow it, the only other option is to make a change. You could change roles, functions, departments, locations, companies, careers. Now, I've done that, and let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not something you just wake up in the morning and say, today I'm quitting. Would feel good to do that, right? But that's not the reality. You need a plan. You have to think about 3 things. What am I good at? What do I like doing? What does the marketplace need? And these 3 things have to come together, because sometimes you may be good at something, but you don't like doing it. You may love something else, but you're not really good at it. Or you may be good at it and you love doing it, but no one's willing to pay you for it. So we need the magic. Talk about triple constraints here. We need all 3 of them to come together. And you have to be clever when you're looking at the marketplace and trying to anticipate needs. You have to think about, what are people looking for? IBM did a research study last year, and they asked CEOs what was the #1 leadership quality they were looking for in the next 5 years. The #1 leadership quality. Anybody see that study? It was in PM Network magazine in October. Anyone know what's the #1 quality CEOs said they're looking for? What do you think? Project management? I wish. Almost. Not quite. Should be. What else? What do you think it was?
Leadership.
Sorry? Leadership? Not exactly. What do you think? Communication should be. That'd be great. No? What was it? Commitment would be good. No. Passion, even better. No. Chocolate. Oh, yes, that was it. #1 leadership quality, chocolate. I like the way you think. Give that man a chocolate bar. What do you think the #1 thing was they were looking for? Loyalty. That went out with bell bottoms. What else? But those are coming back, so loyalty may come back too. Listening. Integrity. Integrity was actually on the list. It was one of the top 5. It was like number 2 or 3.
Visionary.
Visionary. No. Give that woman a candy bar. Creativity. She got it. Nice job. Yes. Creativity. They're looking for creativity, innovation, doing things differently, bringing a fresh perspective to an old problem. So when you're deciding whether to recommit to your job or make a change, you have to be creative. You have to be creative in how you're looking at what you're good at, what you like doing, and what the marketplace needs. You have to be creative in coming up with new solutions and looking at your situation from a new perspective, because that's what is going to make the difference for you.